Hey guys, in today's guide, I'll be walking you through what to look for in a great eSIM provider, especially if you're traveling and want to stay connected without the hassle of physical SIM cards or insanely high roaming charges. Ever since eSIMs, it's made traveling way easier. But the truth is, not every provider offers the same level of reliability, pricing, or coverage. And depending on where you're going and how much data you really need, one option could work a lot better than another. So I'll walk you through how eSIMs actually work, what features matter most for travel, and take a closer look at one service I've personally used in multiple countries called Saily eSim, just to give you a real-world example of how it performs. Now, if you haven't heard of Saily before, it's an eSIM provider from Nord Security, the same company behind NordVPN, and just like their VPN, the focus here is on privacy, security, and making it easy to stay connected while traveling. What I like about Saily is that it skips the usual hassle. You're not fiddling with SIM trays at the airport or overpaying for roaming. You just install the app, pick your destination, and choose your plan. It works in over 200 countries, and it even includes things like ad blocking, web protection, and tools that help keep you safer on public Wi-Fi, which can be a huge plus when you're relying on networks you don't always trust. In terms of the setup, Saily is actually one of the easiest I've used. You just download the app from the App Store or Google Play, pick the country you're heading to, and choose the data plan that fits your trip. The app walks you through a short setup, just a few steps, and once you're done, your eSIM activates and connects automatically once you land. And it connects to high-speed local networks, and if your phone supports 5G, you'll get those speeds too, which makes a big difference when you're using maps, translation apps, or uploading photos. Alright, so that's all well and good, but how much does it all cost? Saily keeps things pretty simple. You're choosing based on how much data you'll need and where you're headed, whether that's a short trip in one place or something longer across multiple countries. Pricing depends on the destination, but in a lot of popular spots, it starts pretty low. Places like Japan, India, and Australia come in just under $4. Other areas like parts of the Caribbean or the Middle East are a bit more, but still far less than what you'd normally pay with roaming. And you don't have to deal with finding a SIM once you land. They also offer regional plans that cover entire areas like Europe or Asia, as well as other places, so you're not switching plans every time you cross a border. It's just one plan that works across multiple countries, which makes things much easier if you're moving around. There's also Saily Ultra, which is a monthly subscription that gives you 30 gigabytes of high-speed global data, and regular unlimited data after that, plus extras like NordVPN access, airport lounge perks, and priority support. It's more of an all-in-one package for frequent flyers or digital nomads. All plans are prepaid with no contracts, and you get 3% in Saily credits with every purchase. You also have a 30-day activation window, so you can buy ahead and activate when you're ready to travel. Oh, and the app also gives you a heads up when you've used about 80% of your data. It just makes it easier to stay ahead of things without checking manually. And hey, if you're thinking about giving Saily a try, I've got an exclusive discount. Just use the code GBUTech at checkout when downloading the Saily app or visiting their website. Another reason why Saily stands out, it offers privacy and security features. Since it's built by the same team behind NordVPN, you get a few extra protections that most eSIM services don't include. There's built-in ad blocking, so you're not constantly getting pop-ups or being tracked across websites. Pages tend to load faster and cleaner, and you use less data as a result. There's also web protection, which blocks known harmful websites before they load, which is especially useful if you're on hotel Wi-Fi or other public networks where you're logging into accounts or booking transportation. And finally, there's a virtual location feature, which works a bit like a lightweight VPN to help mask your real IP address. It adds a little extra privacy and can also be useful if you're trying to access content that's restricted based on your location. I mean, I've used it on multiple trips to watch my shows back at home that weren't available in that country. What's great is that all of these features run quietly in the background, so you don't need to install anything extra or constantly tweak settings. It just works, which makes traveling with it feel a lot more comfortable. Now, I've used Saily across multiple destinations, and it stayed consistently reliable every time I've used it. But during one of my most recent 3-week trips to Thailand, I relied on the Saily eSIM to keep us connected, and so setting it up was very simple. I already had the app downloaded from previous trips, and before I left for the airport back at home, I chose a data plan and activated the eSIM all within a few minutes. So as we explored all over Thailand, I have to say the performance of Saily's eSIM stood out. The connection was perfect, supporting everything from streaming videos and navigating via Google Maps to uploading a ton of photos to my family and friends through WhatsApp and sharing on social media. The consistently fast and reliable internet service helped me a lot, especially in places where secure public Wi-Fi was hard to find, or while we were on hikes to gorgeous viewpoints. Not only that, but there were times when I would go out for a little while on my own, and it was good to know that I would always be able to reach my husband and check in with our baby. Also, the data plan I picked gave me a lot of data for a price that was a lot less than roaming fees, and there were no hidden costs to worry about. So knowing the exact cost ahead of time gave us peace of mind and helped us better manage our travel budget. On top of that, I had a chance to test out Saily's customer support in a previous trip, and they got back to me right away. I mean, it's just good to know that you have support 24/7, especially when you're in a different time zone. But as always, I try my best to give you guys my honest opinion, and we all know there's no such thing as a perfect service, and that includes Saily eSim. For example, Saily is data only, so if you're someone who still makes regular phone calls or sends SMS texts, you want to use messaging apps like WhatsApp, Telegram, or FaceTime instead. Most people already do, so it's usually not a big deal, but it's good to keep in mind. Another thing is the need for a compatibility check. Before you use Saily's eSIM services, you need to make sure that your device supports eSIM technology. Most newer phones do, but it's an extra step that I think you should take just in case. This might slightly be inconvenient, but remember, this is common across all eSIM providers, not just Saily. Wrapping it all up, if you're looking for a flexible, easy-to-use eSIM while traveling, and you want to avoid high roaming charges, or the hassle of swapping physical SIMs, I'd say Saily is definitely worth checking out. It's worked well for me across multiple trips, and those extra features like ad blocking, web protection, and the option to add VPN access really help round it out, especially when you're connecting to unfamiliar Wi-Fi networks. And if you want to give it a try, I've left a discounted code in the description. Just use the code GVUTech at checkout when downloading the Saily app or visiting their website. Hopefully this guide helped you get a better sense of how to choose the right eSIM provider for traveling. If it did, a thumbs up is always appreciated. And of course, if you've used an eSIM while traveling or have any questions, feel free to drop those down in the comments, and I'll try to get back to as many as I can. Otherwise, thanks so much for watching, safe travels, and I'll see you in the next video.